Hi everyone, I'm Dee Roussel, also known as Deja, and today we're going to be doing a book haul. I'm not usually the type to buy books before I read them, and some of these I actually have read and I knew that I would want to reread them, so I bought them. But other ones, like, I don't know why I bought them. It was just kind of like an impulse buying kind of thing, and most of them are also used books. So I got them for like less than $5. Most of them even less than $3. So yeah, I will just jump into this video. I have quite a few, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, considering that I don't really have a lot of space on my shelf, but still, like, I'm happy that I have some of these. And yeah, let me just get into the books that I have bought. The first book I won't spend too much time on because I feel like I've talked about it a few times already, and that is I Thought My Soul Would Rise and Fly. And this one I bought because of a live show that I did with Courtney at Tangible Reads, and of course that'll be linked down below. But yes, I'm glad I did buy this one. I couldn't find it at my library, so I did end up having to buy it. But still, I thought this was a really good book and I would reread it. So I'm happy that I did buy it. The next book that I bought was The Personal Librarian. And I've only heard Ashley at Bookish Realm and Realm of Comics read this one, and she really liked this one. So I thought, since I'm trying to get more into historical fiction, that this would be a great one to pick up. And this one follows a Black librarian who is passing as white, and I think just like the struggles with that. And I think she actually is a personal librarian for like some notable figure, and I'm not sure if this is like super accurate or if it's just like a fictional recount of something, but I'm excited to pick this up. The next one that I picked up is Homecoming by Yaa Gyasi, which I've heard great things about this author's work, so I decided to pick this one up. I'm pretty sure I found this one at Goodwill for like $1. So I was just like, let me just pick this up and see like how I do with the author, and I hope I really like it. I heard that it's really good, more about like the family dynamics, so this will be a very interesting read, I hope. The next book I actually got from Dollar Tree, and that is Reverie by Ryan LaSala, which I actually have seen this book before, but I was really surprised to find it in Dollar Tree. I'm not really sure like what it's about, but like I have seen it around BookTube at least a little bit, so I was just like, let me pick this up and see what I feel about it. The next one is also a YA book, and that is Heart of Thorns, and I've actually never heard of this book, but I tried the first few pages and I did get like a good vibe with the writing, so I'm hoping that I enjoy it. It's not really like a top priority book, plus it's in like really good condition. I got this for like, I think this one was like $1.50 at my library, so I was like, if I don't like it, it's only $1.50. So yeah. The next book that I got was Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and I really love this author's writing. I had to read a book by her when I was in college, and I just really loved her writing. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't this book, but I think that she's one of those authors that I want to have like her whole collection, and so I bought this one, and I'm really hoping that I enjoy this one as well. And the next book that I have is one that I've already read for my work book club, and this is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which I really hope I pronounced his name right. This was a very interesting read, but my job ordered me a copy of this since it was part of like the workbook club, and when they order the books, like, they allow us to keep it, so I have this one. The next book that I have is The Four Agreements, and this one was very philosophical. Even though like the main concepts seem very simple, I feel like this is one that I would reread, and I feel like I would get something different out of it, so that's why I have a copy of this one. And the next book that I have is one that I really enjoyed, and that was The Last Quintista, and this was one of the books that was on my best books of 2022, and I'm so glad that I found a copy. I found this copy at Goodwill for $1, and I was so happy. Like, I already planned to buy it, but like I just saw this copy and it's in such good condition, and I'm just so happy to finally have it because this is such a beautiful story. This is going to have to go on like one of my favorite shelves, which are at like the top, which I really need to rearrange my bookshelf because I feel like I should put my favorites in the frame of the camera. But that's a side note. But yes, I really did enjoy this one, and I'm so glad to have a copy of it. The next book that I have is White is for Witching, which I heard of this author's Helen Oyemi. I think that's how you pronounce the author's name, which I really should have looked this up before I like got on camera, but I apologize if I did not pronounce it right. But I actually have not heard of this book by this author. I've heard of, I want to say, I don't even know. I can see the cover, but I can't see the words. So if I remember, I will put the book that I'm thinking about on the screen. But like, that's the only book that I've heard of by this author. And this one I thought sounded very interesting. This one is kind of like a mystery horror, which I thought would be very interesting. And I'm hoping that I can get to this one for Black Aweenathon this year. The next book that I have that I found at Goodwill is A Hero Born by Jen Young. And this one I have seen going around BookTube lately. I really like the new covers that it has because apparently this is like an older fantasy that was just like, I guess, newly translated into English or something. So since this was only like $1, I decided to get a copy of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it because I'm very weird with classic fantasies, but I find myself really enjoying like Asian adult inspired fantasies, and so I'm really hoping that I have good luck with this one. And the next book that I got was The Spiritual Herbalism Companion, and this one I just got this one at like Five Below because I was just, you know, impulse buying. But like, surprisingly, this is actually by a Black woman, which I was really happy about, that I found this and didn't even know that it was by a Black author. But it has like different herbal recipes and stuff for all these like different things. It gives me apothecary vibes, which I'm not really into that, but I feel like as I'm trying to go more of the natural route, like I think this would be a great book to have in my collection. The next book that I have is the Marie Kondo book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. And this one I got purely because I feel like my whole house is just such a mess right now. Not necessarily like a dirty mess, but I feel like it's just like so much clutter, and I'm trying to figure out like how to navigate like putting that all together. And granted, I know that like she kind of came back earlier this year or maybe later last year and was saying that like that method isn't really working for her anymore as she's like grown into like a mother and stuff, but I still feel like there's going to be value in this book, and so I got this one as well. And then my library actually had a sale on their romance books, and so you could get like 10 for $1, and so I just ended up grabbing like 10 different romance books, and here they are. The first 3 books that I got from that sale are from Nora Roberts, and the first book is Daring to Dream, the second one is Finding the Dream, and the last one is Holding the Dream, and this is the Dream Trilogy. I thought that the first one sounded very interesting. I feel like the vibes that I got from it were more like the emotional like character study, I guess, of this like woman finding love, but I've never read a Nora Roberts, so I thought that if this one sounded interesting to me, then maybe I'll have success with it. But I got the whole trilogy just to like use up like the $10 because I was on a time crunch, so I got those 3 books by Nora Roberts, and I'm really hoping that I enjoy these Nora Roberts books. I feel like she's just a staple in romance, so I don't know what it'll say if I don't really like these books by her. I really hope that I enjoy these books by Nora Roberts, but if not, she has like so many other books that like I'm pretty sure at least one of them are going to be for me. The next book that I have is a historical fiction, and that is If Only I Had a Duke by Lenora Bell. And I'm very weird with historical fictions by white women. Like, I don't know why I picked this up, but it just sounded very interesting. So it's this girl who hasn't like been matched for the past 3 seasons, and it's basically like her love story with this other guy, the Duke, I guess. And I don't know if it's like the Bridgerton vibes in me, but like I and just really craving those kinds of things. And I know they're not going to deal with like race well, or probably not even mention it at all, but I'm hoping that I enjoy it. And if not, then I can always get rid of it. Kind of along the same lines is The Devil and the Heiress by Harper St. George. And I know that Heather has actually DNF'd this book because she just put out her DNF video. But I heard one person besides Heather talk about this and they actually enjoyed it. So I don't know where I'm going to fall on this. I really hope I like it. I kind of like the cover, and it's set during the Gilded Age, which I don't think I've ever read a book set during that age. I watched a show called The Gilded Age, but not read a book. So I'm hoping that I enjoy it, but we will see. And the next 3 books that I have are Harlequin romances, which I don't usually read. I feel like they're a very specific kind, but I'm trying to expand my horizons with the romances that I read, and these were, I guess, kind of interesting. I think they're by the same author. Yeah, all 3 of them are by the same author. The first one that I have is Her Festive Flirtation. The next one is Island Fling with the Tycoon. And the last one I have is The Millionaire's Redemption. I feel like all of these books are going to be either a hit or a miss, and I'm not sure what it's going to be. All of them are like really short, like less than like 200 pages, I'm pretty sure. And the font isn't actually like that bad, but I don't know. I got them because I wanted to try out this author, but I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. So I'm glad I got it during this sale just to see like how I feel about this author. And the next book that I have is by Brenda Jackson, and that is Wishes for Tomorrow, which is a Westmoreland. It's 2 stories in the Westmoreland, I guess, world. I've never read anything in that world before, but I got this one because I did read one of her books. I cannot think of the title either, but I'll put that on the screen. But I read one of those books and I had mixed things about it, but I think I overall really enjoyed the story. And so I feel like I'll enjoy these, because one of the problems that I had with that one is that I felt like it went on too long. But I think that this one, since they're 2 little novellas, I feel like this will be a good book to read for her. And the next book that I have is It Had to Be You by Frances Ray. And this one actually follows a musician. And I did not ever think that I would be into musician romances, but Alexandria House with her Let Me Love You series, or really just the first book because I haven't read the series yet, but Alexandria House really sold me on like the whole rapper thing. And so I was like, maybe I should try out more musicians in like all forms. And so I found this one that I thought would be really good to try. And this is another author that I haven't read before. And I am trying to try new authors this year because I feel like I need to find like new favorites. Right now, I feel like I only have maybe 3 or 4. And so I'm trying new authors this year just to see how I feel with their work and to like build up my collection, because I'm pretty sure all these books that I have not read are not staying on my shelves, because I really think that I have changed so much as a reader that like the books that I have on my shelves do not reflect me anymore. And so that's partly why I'm doing this book haul, but also why I'm trying new authors like Frances Ray, and I'm really hoping I enjoy this one. And the last book that I have is one that I'm super excited to read, and that is Seraphim Falling. I read a sample of this and I really enjoyed it. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was, and the words I feel like are a little maybe a little big, but I'm not complaining. And so I got this book from the Signed Bookshop. It's like an indie author like special edition site hosted by Angela J. Ford. I'm really excited to read this because the sample that I tried, I really enjoyed it. Like it kind of had like a hint of a romance, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be like a super spicy romance if it even goes into depth with the romance. This was already like an established romance between the 2 characters, but I really like their intimacy with each other, so I got this book. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of those authors that I really enjoy, and I want to make room on my bookshelf for, if I do like this book, I want to get like the entire series. And so yeah, I'm excited to have that one. But I think that wraps up all the books that I got January through March, and I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anything. I don't think I am. I don't know how often I'm going to do book hauls, but I figured that since I have all of these books that I did buy, I would do like a little video about it. But if you like this video, please leave a angel emoji, if that's an emoji. I don't know, is that an emoji? Or if not, maybe a halo. But if neither of those work, maybe just a star for Seraphim Falling. And yeah, tell me if any of these books sound interesting to you, or if you have read any of them, or even if like you usually haul books, or do you usually just like get them from the library or something, which is usually what I do. But yeah, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.